Start your engines.
Ew.
Do you remember when BB said that? It was in the season 10 finale because they brought all the season 1 girls back. And BB was there and she goes, start your engines.
Engines.
Do you recall
What
that?
What is that? No.
You don't recall this at all?
Are you talking about season 10?
Yeah, at the finale.
Girl.
I know, it's so much Drag Race.
Season 10 was a blur.
That was so long ago, I
remember
know.
that episode? We barely talked about it.
No, we didn't talk about that finale.
We were
really
neither
at all.
here nor there.
No, we barely talked about that finale. But there's too much. So in our current timeline, Virgo Queen just got crowned.
Wow.
And I was surprised. I really thought it would be Michaela.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, of those two, I thought it would be Michaela.
No, I mean, that makes sense because, like, I saw it for her. No, I mean, like, I really saw it for Virgo just because of how the edit was.
Sure.
Like, I also started to see it for Minnie towards the end, so I was kind of surprised that Minnie was not in the top 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's just a Virgo Queen week because Lucky Stars went home looking like Virgo Queen. So it's so weird to see one Virgo Queen win and another Virgo Queen go home in the same week.
Right.
Like literally like this, like within 24 hours of each other, I watched the same woman go through 2 very different destinies. It was crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
But why did she look just like Virgo Queen? What was that?
She looked like pretty wild, I would say. But that was one of the best sewing challenges, probably of all time. That Monopoly.
I love that they were broken up by their colors.
Yeah.
And I love, so Naomi made a good point in the pit stop of like, she liked that there was at least some sort of one word prompt, in this case, opulence. Cause she's like, I hate when everyone just gets fabric and then it's like you have one person in a ball gown, one person in like a swimsuit.
Right.
When you know, one person doing like soft sculpture, like
Serena Chacha mentioned.
It was very nice that like the prompt was opulence, and that's, I think it pushed everyone to go above and beyond. Because even with what Anya said, like she'd never sewn a dress, but because it had to be opulence, she like went for it.
Yeah.
So
Opulence. I liked it. I thought it was really good. Sorry.
I liked it. I thought it was really good.
I legitimately did love that episode a lot. It was so good challenge-wise.
No, it was super fun. The only thing that made me sad was the elimination.
The elimination made me big sad.
Because did you see her what your packing looks?
Yes.
That shark look?
We were robbed.
We were bamboozled.
We were robbed, and I just feel like the artistry is gone. I saw no artistry on RuPaul's Drag Race season 17 after Lucky Stars went home.
No, now it's like the battle of the pageant queens and baby queens.
Totally. The amount of references to the show is also pretty wild too on episode 3.
Oh, yeah.
It was like every single quote, even at the beginning. The pop off because you're not going to have many moments left. Well, fix your mug.
And next episode, they're literally doing a challenge about Drag Race moments.
I love that.
Crazy.
It makes me so happy. By the time this airs, it'll be so late in the timeline. But what is that? Is that someone's house getting broken into? I don't think, unless that bird is like having a seizure. That sounds like someone's house alarm. That's a crazy sound. I don't think our mics are even picking it up.
Okay, girls, like, because I don't want to get up and close that window.
No, I don't want to either. It's very nice out there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't it?
This is Jasmine Masters. What the fuck is that?
We don't do that out here.
Osino, they got it. This is a nice neighborhood. People go to work.
Have you seen the video of her doing that, but they put the Defying Gravity over it?
With Cynthia?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, where it's like the people in the Emerald City.
So good. I'll have that exposition later. Hello, everyone. We're back with That Sounds Gay with Jessie. Big D. Energy. But we're not talking about that season. We're talking about the finale of Canada's Drag Race, where there was a lot that happened in these last couple episodes of season 2.
Yeah.
So should we get straight into this. Last week, we talked about so many things, but the Sinner's Ball was the one that stuck out to me the most. I wish that we would do this more often. That was such a good prompt.
Yeah.
Cynthia Kiss is gone, and that makes me very sad. So, we are talking about... God, where are we at right now? This week we're jumping into a roast. I was like, look at these notes.
I know.
Let me read these notes.
Well, because we're in that kind of middle slump.
Yeah, a little bit. But there's still so much that's happening. We have to talk about this dreaded bird lip sync at some point. So I'm looking forward to that because you've been teasing me about this for so long. I loved at the very beginning, I have to bring this up, the silence after Gia asked if they all wanted to have a slumber party in this episode that started up. She's like, who wants to have a slumber party?
Crickets. Like,
being the one in the room who's just trying to be excited and no one else is. And you're like, okay, well.
Listen, I appreciate Gia being a positive, unbothered woman through thick and thin this season. Because also some other things later, and she remains a positive, unbothered woman.
Completely unbothered. And I fuck with that energy because I'm not that type of person. If that happened to me, I'd be like crying in my hotel room.
I'm not a bitch who can take things in her stride.
No.
My stride is easily broken.
By a passing wind, a rogue fuzz that's floating there.
Yeah.
Pythia is feeling really bad about not winning the last challenge, and I'm Team Pythia here because I think that she should have won. And there's this kind of rivalry forming between her and Isis, which I think was an interesting storyline to start developing. Yeah. It has a good follow through.
It does. Like. Well, and I mean, they are like, Pythia really would have stood out so much more if Isis hadn't been there.
Totally.
But then also Isis would have really been unmatched with Pythia not there.
Yeah.
So they were both, I think Pythia was not necessary, but really helpful for Isis's win to really show her like Isis could rise to the top. But it hurt Pythia.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Pythia, this could have been her moment without Isis. Oh, rip.
Was she almost the Katya to Alaska?
Oh, very that.
Like the sort of quirky girl against like a kind of front runner.
She's just a quirky girl.
She's just a quirky girl. She's so quirky. We have our first mini challenge of these episodes, which is called Fashion Police, which is like toot and boot style improving with Brad. And they're in pairs, which I thought was so weird.
I hate cut for time. Like, I also feel like this happens a lot on U.S. Drag Race. A queen goes home right before a challenge that's perfect for them. Yes. And the fact that Cynthia wasn't here for this challenge, I mean, ironic because her fashion's terrible, but the commentary, the commentary
of it all, she would have really, really killed it. And the thing that I thought was interesting is they all hated Isis's look from that intro. Like, did I miss something? I thought that yellow and black My Fair Lady fitted entrance look was so cool.
They hated it. I'm like, maybe they hated Isis. No.
I truly couldn't tell with this mini if they were all playing a character or if they legitimately were just being catty. Because they were all so weird.
Well, because some of it's same thing that happens in a roast where it's like, are you just like getting out your grievances via hee-hee-ha-has?
Right. Or do you really mean this?
But then also, like, because you know what they say, like, all comedy is grounded in the truth. But it's like, I don't know, if you have the confidence to say it, something had to instill that confidence in you.
Yeah.
And that must be either a sense of truth or a sense of that is a perception that can be reinforced. I don't know.
That is really perceptive, though.
Because I don't know if it was out of left field, like, and there's nothing to back it up, then why would you say it?
Right. So why are you talking?
What?
Why are you talking?
Why are you looking in my direction?
Kendall wins this challenge. And you know what? I really, truly didn't think anyone was super funny. But she gets to organize this next challenge that is happening, which is the roast of Brooke. We haven't had another roast, have we? We could have one of Tracy.
My wires are crossed because I just watched on Down Under. They just did the roast of Reese.
Oh, that's so cool.
Can I say this season actually was not half bad? The season that Michelle hosted.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm excited to get to that one eventually.
She was fun. I liked it more than the last season. Maybe the last two. No.
People are saying this is the best Down Under ever.
I would say Spanky Jackson, season 2 of Australia, and this season are the best.
Okay.
Not as much for the other two. I mean, you've already perceived the first one.
I've seen one, unfortunately. I did see that.
But I'm excited for 2 for the mess and the goonery. I'm excited for the gooning.
Kathy Bates, but does Kathy goon?
Kathy baiting and gooning.
That's a new drag name, probably.
Psycho.
So I feel like with the roast of Brooke, there's so much you can cover. You've got season 11. You've got all of Canada 1. There's so much to pull. And I don't know if everyone went there. But yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like you have an entire season of content that you watched her do good but also do bad. She didn't win. She did bad in Snatch Game, XYZ. You can make fun of the fact that RuPaul doesn't give her full power.
Yes.
Like, I feel like that would have been one of the first things that like I would have cut at is like 1/3 of the host, Brooklyn Heights.
I feel like some of them really went there. Like, we'll get into that in just a second. I want to mention that Brooke is wearing a snake around her body, and it felt like the same energy with Kimora for this look, because Kimora just did that snake look last week. Do you remember in season 4 when Melinda Verga's Vivienne Westwood inspired, and literally the following episode, or maybe 2 episodes later, Brooke was wearing practically the same thing?
Well, and I was like, this also would have been Slay for the 7 Deadly Sins, because you could have been the snake that brought sin into the world, and then your girls are doing sin, but whatever.
Maybe she saw Kimora's look and was like, we got to save that till next week. We can't do that this week.
Right.
Maybe that's like, what happened with Melinda, too.
She said, bring me the rock and roll.
Right. Get out that good rock and roll outfit. Let me wear that. Kendall volunteers to open up, and she calls Amanda Brugel Wendy Williams, which made me scream. I wrote down highlights for us.
I love it.
She apparently has, she makes TV shows for white women.
Amanda Brugel?
Yeah, that's what the joke was.
I only know that she's in Midwife? Called The Midwife? No. What? Midsummer? No.
Midsommar?
No.
No.
Blessed be Kitty Girl. What is that?
Handmaid's Tale?
Handmaid's Tale.
She's in that. Is that why the character in the show was a Handmaid's Tale?
Yes. She's
know.
a handmaid. I think she dies in one of the early seasons, though. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong woman.
Well, her time on Drag Race died after this season, because she's not on 3, 4, or 5.
Can I say? No, we'll say. We'll get there later.
You're gonna hold on to it.
She delivers her best moment in the entire season in this episode.
Oh. Okay, well, we're gonna get there. Let's get through these. I really thought that she did good. I thought Kendall was great, not Amanda Brugel.
I thought she was great, not Amanda Brugel.
Adriana is very worried about making jokes in English, and I thought she was decently funny, but she said like fuck a lot, and I like the word fuck. Teehee. I think it's fun. But if you rely on cussing too much, I think it loses its impact of bombacity. And a lot of the girls did that. They said fuck way too many times. Gia is 3rd, and I hated this character she was doing. It was like Farrah levels of uncomfortable.
This was an interesting stretch. Because like Adriana's was like fine, but it made me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then like it was like Gia was like salt in the wound of uncomfortableness.
Yes.
Like there were like little like cat scratches of discomfort from Adriana like skating through and like not flopping but having some clunkers and like kind of making me nervous.
Right. And then someone put salt.
And then Gia came in and made me even more uncomfortable. And then you have 2 spots of safety and then you're
almost done.
You're like given like a whirly basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gia's is rough. And it's also like it's funny because I don't even feel like it's that less funny than other things she's been doing this season, but just because there's less people and the environment's different, because it's not like her Sash game was way funnier than this.
Yes.
But like it worked and it was safe at the time.
It was cringy, but it was fine.
But now here we are, yeah. And it's suddenly like, yeah, this ain't working, girl.
It's not.
You know this thing you've been doing? No.
This thing called geometric. We got to stop it.
You know this personality you have? I don't like it.
I almost feel like Gia is what Rue feels like Jan is. Like, likes it for a little bit and then just hates it.
But it's also funny because it's like the judges love her, but then also seem to outwardly despise her.
Yes.
And it's like, it's so fascinating.
Is she an offshoot of the Jan? Like, is Gia her own character type in Drag Race?
Math Jan?
Like, is she a split off?
Canadian Math Jan?
Canadian Math Jan. She implies that Brooke looks like she had a stroke. That was psychotic.
That was a little hateful because also like, what? Why would you say that?
Why would you say that on TV?
Why would you say that about anyone? But then also so random to say it about someone that's so like gorgeous. Be like, you look like you had a stroke.
Well, like what even was that? Pythia was also really cringe. She had all of the excitement of Farrah with all of the butt clenching of Utica.
Oh my God.
When she asked, "You aren't laughing?" Literally everything clenched so hard. Like anything that was in my body like shot up.
Because she does do that like enthusiastic like
yeah.
Like okay, this was more so I don't want to say that. I feel like this is a little more preparing me for Global All Stars. Because I'm like, this is Pythia in the eyes of RuPaul. Bumbling Greek idiot. Opa.
That meme of that lady from, I think it's Maria de los Barrios, where it's like cries in Spanish, but it's bombs in Greek woman.
Not bombs in Greek, please.
Flops in Greek woman. We have Isis Fifth, who's reading from her cards so much and just talks and talks and talks to the point where the crew, who they never show, is like, all right, time's up. Where were these crew members when the pie lady, the goose woman,
Devil Pie
was running over something?
I know, they're like, no, you're done.
Stop.
And she was like, I'm done.
She's like, but I have a rose for Brooke. Do you feel like that was more or less egregious that she didn't do the assignment and worthy of being in the bottom? Or do you feel like because of the flops of some of the others that were just abysmal, do you feel like it was just given a pass because the others were so bad?
I think it was just given a pass because they found the rest of her material to be really funny. I think I would fault her for like, it's great that it was going well and it was funny, but I feel like as a host, you need to take the responsibility to synthesize.
Cynthia Kiss?
Oh, never forget. It's time to synthesize. I think you have a responsibility as a host to take the time you have left and the material you have left and synthesize that to create something for the rest of the time. Because obviously she was trying to like do more because she's like, oh, they like this. I got more. But it's like, okay, well, that's great. Proceed confidently. Add a little bit more, but it's like, do not read every joke you wrote down.
Right.
But also, if that was her intention from the beginning, she would have gone over. So what was the thing is like, you just brought jokes and you were going to like flip through them and be like, no, I'm not going to do these. Like,
she brought 100 cards and was just like, I'll figure it out up there.
She had backups. Yeah. Or maybe she was just improvising and she was just rolling with it and
I don't know.
A great time, but it was a little like it did make me shrivel up a little bit when she was like, I can't, I have to stop.
I can't keep going.
Yeah, I can't keep going. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
It could have been an easily justifiable bottom 3 just to do it because she didn't get to Brooke, which was the point of the roast. But you're right, everything else was okay, in my opinion. And then Kimora is last when she volunteered to do so. She starts by calling Kendall Drake in drag.
Okay, that actually was funny.
It's really funny.
And also, I forgot to mention how good Kendall looked.
Kendall looked gorgeous.
The green with the beret. She really ate.
She did. That was some of the best she's looked all season.
Yeah.
In my opinion. She was really harsh, though.
Kimora?
Uh-huh.
Okay, the Drake and drag thing was so funny. Uh-huh. And then it turned into hatred.
Hate and malice. When Hormona hugged Katy Perry and found darkness in her soul and saw the devil.
She felt the evil in her.
Yeah, Kimora's evil was coming out here.
Okay, but what is this like evil energy that hangs over the rest of this episode? Because like she has that performance and then the next thing happens. It's like, what was in the absolute vodka? Yeah. Like, because that was the thing is, I mean, other than Gia saying that Brooke looked like she had a stroke, Jesus Christ. Like, it wasn't like, because sometimes everyone's really mean.
Yeah.
It was more like uncomfortable than like super mean.
Right.
But then Kimora came in like so like mean, but not even embellished meanness.
Yeah, it wasn't funny mean.
It was literally just like, it was insult comedy without the comedy.
It was just insults.
It was like berating like someone at the checkout aisle.
It was very Karen-y, yeah.
What did you just say?
Karen-y.
What? You haven't been like Karen near. I literally just, I had a stroke. I was Brooklyn having a stroke. That was crazy. I like couldn't understand. It sounded like Thorgy when she's like, "So pick me here and here."
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Special. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Proceed.
I mumble sometimes. Our runway category is Dungeons and Drag Queens. Are we holding space for this?
Hold my finger.
I'm holding space for this. Not this runway.
It's all I ever wanted. That's all I ever wanted.
I'm not holding space for this runway, but
I'm holding space for this category.
Yes, for the category and the concept. We could do this every season.
This is an all-stars runway. This is a versus the world runway.
I would love somehow if they did like a fake role or something for like their race and class. Yeah. That would be so cool. Race!
I would say it's like 50-50.
Right.
In my opinion, Gia, Isis, and Pythia gave it. But even then, I will say, I think Pythia's is a little too fantasy for me. It doesn't necessarily give me D&D. I know D&D can be whatever it is. But the era and the references don't tie into me with D&D. I feel like it needs to be a little more Renaissance-y or something. Yeah. Isis's is to me, I mean, she could be a queen in Dungeons and Dragons. It looks
close enough to what it could have been.
But it's also like, is this a repurposed Red Queen look?
Right.
For me, part of me, I don't even know like what is happening, but Gia's is the only one that does kind of give me Dungeons and Dragons.
She was meant to be a lizard, which is not a D&D
That is
race.
not D&D at all.
She specifically says lizard. But it also doesn't really look lizardy.
But it gives it gives me like plant something. Like, I don't know. Yeah. She gives me like a fantasy creature.
Like a spore creature or something.
It was the only one that gave me like the fantasy aspect I needed. Right. Other than like Pythia, but like Pythia's was more like a period that was not D&D. And obviously Gia had some accessories with like the glasses and stuff.
I think the hair is sculpted really interestingly too.
It was giving me like a little bit of that like face-offy part of like what in Dragula I love. Of like, this feels more like a movie costume almost or something. Like, it's very fascinating to me. But yeah, I love the sculptural wig. I love the like face pieces. Even though I don't totally understand what it is, it's the most otherworldly to me, and I would agree. That.
Kendall claimed to be an elf, and I am not buying what she's selling. It's Grecian, mama.
It's Grecian, and even if it was an elf, like no,
bitch, no.
Oh yeah, I've never seen an elf like this.
Never.
I ain't never seen an elf like this. Kimora's Maleficent, and
Adriana is Sasha Bell.
She's the underbelly of a lobster.
Isn't this a McQueen? Is that what
I think so? I don't understand.
I don't know what the intention was with bringing it for this runway. I mean, I think it's interesting looking, but I don't think it says anything about her drag in particular. And I think Brooke even mentions that Brooke wants to see their drag represented. And I feel like Brooke has been so on it with good critiques, but sometimes aimed at the wrong person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, I get that, but I feel like there were other times to bring that critique up.
Yeah. And I see what she means, like, in general. I think that, like, you should only, like, do a reference if it's a reference that is funneled through your drag.
Corey King being Monet.
Period. But, like, this McQueen lobster dress is, like, so, like, random.
Isn't it, for Dungeons and Drag Queens?
Like, what? But also, like, why even in general? I don't think it's that cute. I don't think you're that pretty. Me looking at her dress.
Yes. Alexis Mateo really gave us some of the best content.
The gift that keeps
on giving. The gift that keeps giving forever. I agree with you. This runway, I would love to see them recycle it one more time. But somewhere else.
Versus the World
versus
or
the World.
All Stars.
I would love to see Versus the World. That be incorporated. In Untucked, Kimora says she's ready to go.
Yeah, craziness starts happening. She shuts down.
She's done. Honestly, I feel like she probably was like, you know what? I'm giving everything and I'm not winning and I'm just mad now. And I think that seeped out of her this entire challenge. And I understand that anger of like, you know what? I don't want to do it anymore. I am not having a good time. And I want to go home. I want to lay down in my bed. I want to snuggle up with my pillow and my sheets. I want to get out of my stinky hotel room.
My Bold and Brown sheets.
I want to just light a candle and go watch some Housewives and kick my feet up. I am done with this. I don't blame her at all, but also I was gagged.
Yeah.
And I think that Isis and Pythia are so lucky that Gia was abysmal and that Kimora was abysmal, because the two of them easily could have been lip syncing if the two of them weren't so bad.
I remember watching it being terrified for Pythia.
Yeah. I knew how it went and I was still nervous for her.
Pythia is such a fascinating queen because she really was a queen of circumstance, because it's like, on one hand, she probably could have done better with Isis not there. But did she also do as good as she did because of the people there?
Right.
Because she was benefited from, other than Isis, everyone not being in the same lane as her at all.
Right.
And so she like really stood out in that regard. But then also, like, even when she did bad, other people did worse.
Sometimes things that are bad are worse. Kendall wins this challenge, which I totally agreed with. And Kimora and Gia have to lip sync to Get Down by B44. This song is about 69.
Oh.
I believe. I mean, unless I'm extrapolating the lyrics wrong. If you get down on me, I'll get down on you.
Love it. It's also like a boy band song.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating.
For a Drag Race lip sync.
It's not a good song to lip sync to.
No.
And I will say, All things considered, Gia kind of turned it.
Gia did turn it, despite having a bird.
Really impressed. Okay. I was very impressed by her. This is what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
That woman can take things in her stride like nobody's business.
Absolutely.
Because she didn't even seem annoyed. It was crazy.
It would have been all over my face if that was me. I'd be like,
she seemed pissed at the end when they were done.
Yeah.
But she was performing the goofiest, most annoying song with an active hindrance. And she looked like she was having a ball.
She looked like she was having a blast out there.
She was like really tuned in, and I respected that.
She was doing the moves. She was into the raps. She was doing the highs and the lows. And isn't there like a music crash at some point where it goes like, pew,
yeah, like some
and then it keeps
instrumentals
going.
that she's hitting.
Yeah.
But
it was a wild song. Terrible to lip sync to.
And what an egregious, like there's standing in front of someone and then there's like actively harassing them while they are trying to perform.
And impeding their lip sync, which Kimora was just on her the whole time, pretending to be a bird because that was what her look was.
But then like chasing her. Like Gia was like trying to get away and she was chasing her. Which leads me to the most profound contribution Amanda Brugel has made to Canada's Drag Race, which is she told Kimora, well, I just want you to know that it was weird as fuck.
Because Brooke is confused.
Everyone's
confused.
The fact that Amanda Brugel said, hey, I just need you to know that was terrible.
That was weird as shit.
That was weird as shit. Yeah. That was weird as shit. Just wanted you, she said it so quickly and so sharply. I just wanted you to know that was weird as shit. Like,
this was the moment Amanda checked out. I guarantee.
She said, I am never coming back.
I'm not doing this.
Get me off this faggot TV show. I'm not doing that again.
She took off that cheap blonde wig from last week, that blunt bob. She slammed it on Brooke's desk and said, get the executive producer down here right now.
I can't move on like this.
I am shredding my contract for 3. Do not get me here. I will finish this season, but I will not do this again.
Get Stacey again, get somebody, but it won't be me.
And then Tracy Melshore pops her head in with her unfilled lips and unfilled face, and she's like, I'll do it.
I just found a wig stylist.
Her wigs get so much better the last 2 episodes. They saved all of their wig money for the last 2 episodes, I think. And Kimora goes away. And I think that was the right decision.
Man.
What a messy lip sync. I blocked that out. Fully blocked it out. I remember you showing us that at some point.
I think I showed it to y'all when it happened because I was just in disbelief. I was like, if I saw this, y'all need to see this.
Had you come back by then from Seattle, or were you just visiting?
Oh, that's a great question. That's a great question.
Can't remember.
But I know that I showed this to you.
Yeah, I remember watching it with you.
Because I was like, if there's anything that you need to see, it's at least this.
It is this. We may have skimmed Canada together when you came down for a visit or something.
Maybe. I feel like I showed y'all Cynthia Kiss singing as well because I was so gooped. But...
I remember watching the Snatch Game with you.
Oh.
And I remember being like, I love this woman. And I remember watching all the way up until the reunion lip sync.
Wow. Maybe we did just watch this season at some point. I don't know.
We had to have. I don't remember the timeline though.
She was that girl.
She was. So episode 8 is the prom challenge, which I love this challenge a lot. It was so fun to see baby Michaela.
Wow.
Little
so crazy.
baby Michaela.
I loved this challenge so much. I remember the first time I watched it, I for real cried.
Yeah.
Just because it was so and I mean, this is crazy because this is even 4 years ago. Because we continue to see this. But I remember watching it at the time and being absolutely blown away because it's these children have such cognizance of queerness and queer identity and XYZ. And it's so fascinating to see that understood so young and embraced so young. I loved it.
Children of YouTube, definitely. Getting to see people come out and live their authentic lives in real time as laws were changing and being influenced by that in a positive way from a young age, probably. I just realized your Squishmallow matches your Udi.
Oh, you know.
It matches it's the same color.
Just I
That's
love
your brand.
Blue. This like bluish green tie dye. I live, laugh, love it.
I don't know how I didn't notice before.
I'm all about it.
All about
it.
So our maxi challenge are teens who are missing out on prom. I skipped by the fact they all got video messages from family. That was cute. And we get to see baby Michaela Couture. Kendall gets to assign all the teens with who is remaining. And she was very, very kind.
Okay. I am here for... I feel like nowadays no one pulls any fuckery in the makeovers.
Not anymore.
They're like, no, we're going to give you the best. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that. The only time people do shenanigans is when it's all men. Yeah. And then it's kind of like gloves are off. But when it's like... When it's anything where it's like a mixed group or it's like a queer group, fans, staff, anything, it's like, no, we're getting the best matches possible. Everything's going to be familial as possible.
Right.
Like the best like skill set to each person as possible. I love it. And I mean, it is kind of like a gift in some way, like being able to see that like chemistry and like
totally
being able to recognize like, oh, this person with this person. But I agree that they like completely nailed. Everyone was with the exact person they should have been with.
Yeah, this casting was almost written in the stars for who was left because Michaela completely takes the reins on what she wants to do with her look. And I feel like Isis is someone who is really good about helping people navigate their spaces, and Michaela finds family in Isis right then and there, which is so beautiful to watch. Kendall's makeover looks just like her out of drag and is obsessed with Kim K. That was weird. That was weird for me.
That was weird. That was
and then suspicious. Gia's girl wants to be a hot girl, like how Gia is. So it was like, these girls are literally paired up with the perfect teens for this challenge.
Yeah. And then you get the more like queer alternative kid with Pythia.
Yeah.
And like Pythia's like the best person to help them deliver this like alternative prom vision they have.
And I almost feel like this teenager influenced Pythia in a positive way because up until this point, Pythia had been doing a lot more Womana looks. Even if they were more on the monstrous side, they were very Womana. And then we get to that finale photo with... I almost said Venus, with Priyanka, and Pythia's doing this mask femme look. That beautiful, gorgeous outfit with the mustache and the chest hair.
Yes.
And I feel like this teenager almost like made Pythia realize, okay, be who I am. This person can unapologetically be them. Why can't I?
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool to watch. So, do you want to talk about the looks?
I would love to.
Our very first on the runway is Isis in Ruby Couture.
Who the fuck is Ruby?
Ruby. I don't know who Ruby is. Michaela looks stunning. Michaela stuns in first photo on Drag Race.
Literally. And it's so funny that, like, her paint that she paints herself with does not look that different from how Isis painted her.
No.
Like, she looks the same.
Yeah. But, like, better.
Yeah.
I hate what Isis is wearing. I hate it a lot. I don't like the wig.
It's very Cher.
Yeah. Budget Cher.
It's very 2000s Cher. I don't like it.
Disco Party City Cher.
Disco Party City Cher.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. And they had no storyline at all on the runway. It was just like, we're here and we're walking and we're fierce. And I don't think that was enough when everyone else was doing stuff.
Yeah.
We have Kendall and Stormy Jenner. I want to know why Kendall was Fred Flintstone.
Okay.
Is there
the
a
Flintstone suit is so strange. Not that I'm aware of, but I also loved it. This weird ass little Flintstone suit. And then didn't she have like a Flintstone like fur or something she took off? The green one. The green one's so terrifying. Or maybe she had like green leopard or something. I don't know. This was actually, I quite liked this. This was my second favorite of the night.
Their performance was really, really fun.
Kendall's performance was so good. Her and Gia did my favorite, like, mom. Well, because they both did Mother of the Bride.
Mm-hmm.
Mother of the Bride.
Mother of the Bride.
Well, no, because I mean, like, they're all their mom. But,
Yeah.
But Gia and Kendall were giving me, like, overbearing mom, like, getting her sent off to prom.
Yes.
And I loved that.
I didn't get to have this prom, but you're going to have the best prom ever.
Yes.
Vibes.
Yeah, and, like, Kendall did the more, like, Kardashians momager vibe, and then Gia went more, like, the nanny. Like, I don't know.
It was
like,
very nanny, wasn't it? Momager.
Yeah.
I really, really love the makeover. I think she looks just like a Kardashian, almost in a way that Kendall doesn't.
Drag her.
I think Kendall looks great, but I don't know if she always looks like a Kardashian. Next up, we have Adriana and Belladonna. I don't know why Adriana was a stripper maid.
Okay, a latex stripper maid
With a bear in her
who's
butt.
gonna bake cookies but also sit on a teddy bear. And then her daughter is like one of the most like decorated salsa singers of the century. Like
She does look like...
Like it looks like this is like the godmother of salsa or something. Like
She'd be introduced at Spain's next music awards or something. And she'd be like the one introducing everybody, the MC who's been doing it for 50 years.
She would like take a minute and a half walking out, like while everyone's like on their feet cheering. You already know who this is. Give it up for her. The hair. It is crazy to me that she basically put her in drag and she ended up looking older than Adriana because of how she styled her.
Crazy.
Because I remember her out of drag. This was a child.
This is a literal teenager.
This was a teenage child, and then she put her in drag and she made her like a 40-year-old woman.
She looks like 49, like on the late end of 40.
And like, I don't know. I feel like with the colors they were doing, with the pink, like she could have styled her so differently.
Mm-hmm.
And even to make sense with the outfit more.
Right.
Like with Adriana's outfit.
I mean, Adriana could have worn this rose gold dress and then she could have made something else. Because her teenager is a non-binary individual. So, like, I don't even think this gives a lot of NBT.
Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I remember they were having a journey.
Yeah, they
of,
were
like feeling
discovering.
comfortable. Mm-hmm. But that makes sense.
It's so covered up and like unflattering.
Yeah,
And it is so feminine at the same time. I don't know. And I don't even get prom. This doesn't say prom at all.
No.
I feel like prom is a lot of sweetheart necklines and tons of tulle and sort of a fantasy experience. Like going to a ball. And this doesn't give fantasy ball.
No. I'm not living.
I'm not living either. And again, why, if you're the mother of the daughter taking her to prom, are you going in your BDSM fetish clothes?
With a bear in your
With
butt.
a bear in your butthole. A bussy bear.
Pussy bear.
A bussy bear.
Is it cake? This is giving a look from Is It Cake?
Is It
and then they
Cake?
turn around, there's a bear in her butt.
They had an unused runway pump that they held on to for 17. Next, we have Pythia and Apollo. I thought this was the coolest makeover because of the gender fuck of it all.
Yeah.
And they do a little skit where Pythia takes off the prom queen and then changes it to prom queer.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Very fun.
I don't
Very, very
really
fun.
love the Wednesday Addams vibes of Pythia, but I love Apollo's look. And they were so eloquent in the way that they described gender and drag and their lived experiences and how all of that could come together to create this beautiful picture. They were everything to me. This little NB 18-year-old.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think with Pythia, the only thing I don't love the black and white stockings, the little Wicked Witch of the East tights.
Those are a little atrocious.
And it's a little too heavy-handed, like goth for me. Like I wish she had like a different Like even like a white like Mary Jane situation. Like I don't know.
She's not a regular mom. She's a goth mom.
She's a goth mom. She shops at Hot Topic.
But the makeover.
But no, she did. I think, and I always just appreciate that when a queen honors their makeover's vision more than winning the challenge or anything. And I just felt like it was very big on honoring this like non-binary vision that they wanted to go with.
And I loved that idea of what prom could look like, mixing both together. It made me yearn for something that I never had. Because like my prom, I don't know what yours was like, but my prom was quite big. I went with a friend of mine because, you know, I wanted to go and she didn't get to go to prom because she was homeschooled. But like I was just going for the role play of it all. But I wasn't totally interested because the people that I wanted to go to prom with were boys and I couldn't. And so like,
of course,
I just wore a tux that I rented and did the thing. But I don't really remember a lot of it because I was super checked out, you know?
Yeah.
So like seeing what this could have been, it made me feel so happy and hopeful. You know,
I get that. Yeah. Because I didn't have this kind of experience either. It was very much just like autopilot doing it because you feel like you should.
Right.
But no, this is like a true queer prom.
Yeah.
I love it.
I did. I love it.
I love it.
Finally, we have Gia and Electric Metric. Scarlett Harlot's back.
Oh my God.
Was there a drag sale on this style wig? I sent you photos. I texted you about this. I'm going to pull it up again and I'm going to show you again because I'm sure that you have Gia's look. Scarlett Harlot in that final runway.
Even with the cheetah print.
And down the side of the pants too. It's the same fit and the same hair. It's just a different color.
I fear she ate Scarlett up.
Oh, she totally ate Scarlett up because she actually had a real person and not a little dinky baby doll that she dropped on the runway.
That. And I loved her character. It was so fun.
Yeah.
I don't even remember everything she was doing, but I remember I loved it.
It was like she stayed back because she was like, "Oh, honey, go."
Oh
to prom.
yeah, no, you go. Yeah.
And she was like, "No, mom, come over, introduce yourself to everyone."
Yeah, and then she does her little walk, and she's like,
"Okay, I'm here at prom. Hi, everyone. I'm her mom.
Yeah,
don't mind me. Hi, everyone. Oh, I'm so happy for you kids. Okay, goodbye. I'm gonna go, but don't make me leave. Yeah, since you're saying goodbye, I'll leave. Okay, goodbye." Like it was so cute.
It was slay.
Yeah, I really love their performance. They had some of my favorite performances, but I think Pythia's look was one of my favorites. So I felt so conflicted on who I thought should have won. Because I feel like performance does play a big part of it.
Yeah,
how you
totally.
sell it.
Especially with this one, I feel like everyone was like performing it so well.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing too that we forgot to mention is that Brooke does give a walking tutorial to all of them. And I thought that was really fun.
Yes.
I thought that was really, really, really fun. I wish that they would do that more often. And remember when Stacey did those walks with them?
Oh, I know. It's sad that she was doing it instead of Stacey.
I know.
I mean, RuPaul would never.
No. Nor I think Michelle would. But I don't know if Michelle knows how to walk.
No, she's not the best walker.
They could have Raja come in every season on episode 2 and be like, here's how to walk, everyone.
Yeah, can you walk for us, please?
Yeah. So this is now 2 weeks that Isis has gotten the challenge incorrect, and she's finally being punished for it. I feel like they took a lot of their frustration out from last week, because, I mean, I don't want to say that anyone else was worse, but I mean, because, I mean, they were all good. I just feel like there could have been justified reason to maybe put Pythia down just because, like, her look was so weird. And Kendall's look was so weird. I feel like there was justifiable reason that they could have swapped the narrative, despite them being strong. Because, I mean, they all did well except for Adriana.
Yeah, Adriana was, like, the biggest clunker. Because, like, with Isis, she looks weird, but obviously, Michaela looks amazing.
Right.
So it's, like, hard because there's an imbalance, but where one is lacking, the other is thriving. But no, I think ultimately it's fair and, you know, makes sense to have Isis as the girl who can send Adriana home.
Of course. And it's sad because I do love Adriana a lot.
Yeah.
Pythia does win, which I thought she was going to be safe. I couldn't tell with the judging where everyone was going to go. Other than Adriana was in the bottom. It's her and Isis to Everybody Say Love by Mitsu, written by Ruth Paul Charles.
Ruth Paul.
Do you remember when
Everybody Say Love.
Everybody Say Love.
Everybody.
With the arm
with
thing.
her in that like nude bodysuit with the huge wig
and the bouncing hair. That's all I could think of when they said it, and I'm like, no, not this song. And it was something else. That made me happy.
The song's actually kind of a bop,
isn't it? It was really lip-syncable.
Everybody Say Love.
It was so good.
Isis got her just to this song.
Oh, she gathered her.
Yeah.
Gathered her right up. They were both pretty equally fierce, but also equally kind of messy in their own way. Like, Isis had really great dance moves, but then she did that break dance. That was super crunchy.
The entire male rap part was crazy.
It was nuts.
I mean, I hate when they have to do a men's rap.
Me too.
On Drag Race. And I think that's already hateful. But her doing the moves down the runway, the dude moves and into the breakdancing, I was like, oh my, with this look. Yeah. With this crystal Cher wig. It was crazy.
It was psychotic.
Adriana shaking the bear on her ass to the beat.
And then her wig just falling apart. They were both really fierce in their own way and both a little crunchy at times. But, I mean, Isis got her together. And I think truly what this came down to, because Adriana hadn't been in the bottom, right?
No.
This is her first time there. Isis is now in number 2. I think this came down to who they want to see more of.
Yeah.
And I feel like Adriana gave everything that she had at this point and was just sort of petering out.
Yeah. And whereas because also I feel like everyone assumed Adriana was going to be a good lip syncer. Mm-hmm. We've already seen Isis lip sync, but I feel like this just showed she has more fight in her. Mm-hmm. She still has more energy in her.
Yeah,
she's such a bombastic spirit and presence. I feel like it was very much reinforcing hey, this is why y'all liked me. I know I've been kind of slumping recently, right, but this is why y'all are obsessed with me
and continue to be.
Yeah.
You must be. So we lose Adriana, which is very sad. We move into a reunion. I can't tell if they ordered too many episodes and had to scramble last minute or if this was always the plan.
I know, because we have the reunion and then we go into the lip sync thing. It's so weird.
And the finale just felt so filler. But I mean, the problem with the reunion before the seasons even aired is that no one knows anything about the edit. So they're asked kind of vague questions about stuff that they haven't really had time to process or think about. Because some of these girls just got off literally maybe 4 days ago and have probably been sitting in the hotel thinking about it, overthinking it, but not having any actual visual references. Probably have just been stressing. So do you like this type of reunion situation? Because they did this in UK versus the World 2 as well.
I don't know. The timing of it just feels, for me, I hate having a reunion when it feels like we don't have a sense of conclusion yet. We don't have a sense of no, we need to experience everything, talk about everything.
Right.
Because it's similar when, who just did it recently? Someone recently did a reunion, but they did it before the season had finished.
And it wasn't UK versus the World 2?
Maybe it was. But it's you're kind of killing the point of the reunion because I feel like they need to see it out in the world, experience it out in the world.
See the edit and how everyone talked about them.
Because at least, even if they let the first half of the season start airing so that they can get a couple weeks of time, in the public eye. But I feel like filming... No, it was... Oh, no, it was this most recent season of Drag Race. They filmed the reunion ahead of time.
Oh, was it on 16 they did that?
I think it was 16.
16 was a blur. That wasn't Sugar and Spice, right?
No, this was the one
They were
with
15.
Plain Jane.
That's right. Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, because everything with Q. Because it wasn't, this was all pre-recorded. So they didn't really get to, like, nothing really felt, like, conclusive.
That was after the Lip Sync SmackDown, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
I think if this is the season I'm thinking of, but this just happens with reality shows sometimes, is the reunion will be pre-recorded and you lose out, or it's just happening in the succession of the weeks. So it's like, I think you get a better reunion when you let things simmer. Let them go home.
Think about it.
Think about their real, like I like when they started doing reunions a la the old style, like around like 10, 11 when they started doing those again in the room. They're all together. They've gone home. They've seen themselves on TV and now they're back to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like that's like the best time. Like even if that is before the winner is announced, when there's still like the uncertainty of that, so there is still tension as well. But yeah, I just feel like doing it too soon when it's like you're still like, you just got eliminated a couple weeks ago, now you're doing a reunion. It's like, I don't feel like you have enough to process and really talk about yet.
Me as well. I liked what this wanted to be, but I didn't like what it was.
Yeah.
Everyone does get a color theme, which is pastels, and Kimora just decides not to do that, and I lived. Miss Congeniality is picked, and it's Suki doll. I was kind of surprised. I thought it'd be Adriana.
I mean, yeah, but also I love Suki.
I mean, I love Suki.
I mean, the girls voted, right?
Yeah.
I think also the girls loved Suki. Might have just been as well that they were sad she wasn't there.
Yeah. So, would you like some secondhand cringe?
Would I?
Do you?
Oh.
Brad asks everyone who they think is going to win.
Oh.
We have 3.5 votes for Isis and 3 1/4 or 1/3 for Pythia. Because Beth says Isis, Ocean says Isis, Stephanie says Pythia, Suki says Pythia and Isis, Eve says Kendall, Gia, or Pythia. So not Isis. Everyone but her.
Crazy.
Cynthia says Pythia was the most inspiring, which I thought was really fascinating. I thought she would have gone with Kendall. Kimora says Isis had a better track record, which isn't really an answer, but that Pythia deserved it more. Which I'm like, wait, Pythia hasn't been in the bottom.
Yeah, Pythia.
What do you mean better track record?
What?
And then Adriana says Pythia as well. But like Gia only got 1/3 of a vote because it was anyone but Isis.
And Kendall got
looped in with Eve's answer as well.
So Brat Pack doing bad.
Yes.
It's really seemed like it was Isis and Pythia's game.
Yeah.
Almost a little bit more Pythia's.
Yeah. I mean, if one answer was anybody but Isis, essentially. I mean, she didn't say those words, but she said either Kendall, Gia, or Pythia. Which is basically...
Like, come on.
You might as well just say.
Isis looks so hot, by the way.
She did. That was the best she looked all season.
That fur with that Donatella Versace hair. Loved it.
Yeah. And then Brad announces that the top 4 is going to be a top 3. And someone is getting eliminated that night from a lip sync battle. Did you live? Because I was gagged.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, I love this. I thought it was exciting.
It was. It felt high stakes.
Yeah.
High stakes, thrilling.
And it's so funny because after this, they keep it a top 4 for the rest of forever.
This time and this time only, they needed to inflict some final psychic damage on Geometric.
Just one last time. I mean, it would have been interesting to see what Jimbo would have done for a finale the previous season. Like, if they would have kept it to a top 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. They wanted to hurt her one more time.
This is so hateful, but thank God Jimbo went home because she would have ruined You Wear It Well.
You're so real for that.
She would have tanked those girls.
She would have been up there with those squiggly arms doing the walk that Stacey McKenzie wanted her to, where she put her hands just above where her hips are,
like,
and swayed them.
Those three barely got through that.
Yeah. They would have needed
was
a
the
RuPaul
only
stunt
one
double.
who actually lip synced to it. So if Jumbo, if Jimbo had been there, it would have been mess.
Jumbo.
Jimbotron.
Our very first lip sync is Main Event, which I love this song.
This is a great song. I'm surprised they haven't lip synced to it in the US yet. It's such a great, dramatic.
Have they
powerful... never? No.
I can't believe that.
They've never lip synced to this in the US.
This is such a good song.
They only lip sync to the same RuPaul songs.
Born Naked, and You Wear It Well.
Yeah,
and
but
Call Me
like,
Mother.
I want to lip sync to this. I want to lip sync to Get Your Rebel On.
Yo,
because they also, I think they also did that somewhere else.
Probably.
But yeah. Main event is that my other. I also like Throw Your Hands Up with Lady Bunny. Like there's some good more like disco-y songs that she has. But no, we just do the same commercial ones over and over.
Yeah. At first I was bothered because it was room music, but I mean, these were great lip syncs. I love the style that they did where it was like pick a lipstick and whatever song you have is who you'll be lip syncing against.
Yeah.
Canada feels decidedly less hands-on when it comes to those moments. Like it really is up to fate. I love the way they distribute lip sync battles. I mean, the rest of the season always feels overproduced, but those moments at least sort of lay up on the gas pressing.
Yeah.
And it's Kendall. Oh no. It's for Main Event. I have no, wait, why did I write all these different names down? I don't know who was who. I wrote in my initial notes that Main Event was Isis and Pythia. But then in my second note, I wrote Main Event and I wrote Kendall.
Main Event is Kendall and Gia.
So my notes got switched around.
Yeah, then Born Naked is Pythia and Isis.
Right. I think my brain got me together right here. So we have Main Event. Kendall looked really, really, really good.
She did.
She looked great. I wish this was her aesthetic all season.
Drag her. This is the culmination of... I can't with Kendall's lip syncing because she's just like, duh. Like,
theatrical.
It's like she's casting a spell because she doesn't like dance and she doesn't move her arms rhythmically, but she like flexes her hands out like on like beats and like lines. And I'm like, what is this?
Like, I'm feeling it, but what is it?
Yeah. Fascinating.
Very fascinating woman. They both killed it in their own different ways. For me, Kendall won it when she was like reading the book at the top of the stage, like flipping her hands over her palm. That was it. And then when she slapped the stage, she was like, pow, pow.
Who's a naughty stage?
Who's a naughty, naughty stage? Kendall wins it, and we move on to Born Naked, where we've got Isis and Pythia. I really think that Pythia's commitment to this ramen noodle hair may have been a hindrance to her.
The way she was twirling around looking dazed and confused in this crunchy wig, the sheer bodysuit with... Because, okay, I'm all for showing your body hair, but the body hair like through the like black sheer bodysuit was not a cute look. It's like when you put like... It's like when you put pantyhose on a dog and like there's like the dog fur like all like wavy and like, you know what I mean? You know those pictures where there's like a Samoyed or something or like a husky and they put like pantyhose on his legs so it's like his puffy legs are like it was giving me that.
That was such a specific reference, but you're so correct.
Because like I love Pythia's hair. I think
me
it's very
too.
gorgeous, but I just think the fabric synthesis, it didn't synthesize like Cynthia would have wanted.
If it was like big netting,
Yeah, if it had been,
huge
if she had
net.
had big fishnet, like a fishnet top almost,
Like
or
basketball
something.
net, kind of. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
though.
like what Ariel got caught in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wrap yourself up in some fishing net, please. I agree. I think it was distracting. A lot of the lip sync was distracting, and the hair kept getting in her face. That was a big problem for me. Isis wins that, so then we get Call Me Mother. And I have expressed my disdain for this song to you, I think, a couple of times. We've heard it so many times, and I'm tired of it.
Also, I'm tired of the way people perform this song.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
Speak on
like... Honestly, if you listen to the beat, it's a pretty easy song to track and perform. I think Marina Summers did a pretty good job of this song. But...
They perform this again?
Yeah, we're going to get this on Philippines.
What? That's like the fourth time this song has shown up.
Yeah, we're going to keep getting it.
It's never
ending. The problem with this song with Queens is when the chorus starts, the na 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 na. People think that it is like 300 beats per minute.
Yeah.
And it's like the vocals are fast, but if you listen to the beat, it doesn't speed up that much.
No.
And it's like, obviously you want to fill the instrumental with movement, whatever. Right. But at that point in the song, people go batshit crazy, lose any semblance of rhythm, and are just throwing their limbs around and nogging. And that's usually when I check out.
Yeah.
Because that part of the song just invites like chaos and bad dancing and like desperate, hectic performing.
Desperate, hectic housewives.
Same.
Yeah, Nane Sphera, when she lip synced to this in Thailand 3, she's in this giant feathered ball gown and this huge, giant, like Muppety yellow wig. She starts like cartwheeling during that part and just like spinning her hair everywhere. It was crazy.
I feel like, they think that they need to go like bananas 10 for that song. But it's like, bananas. Just like, if you just like hit the beats and like hit the lyrics, that's good enough. Because no one else is doing that around you. So
no.
It looks more impressive. Because it just like, it just has such a hectic energy when this song is performed that I don't like.
I would have so much rather have heard... They didn't do Champion in this group. I would have rather heard Champion.
You're a champion. I mean, anything from the Champion Glamazon era. Yeah. I take either of those.
That's not soy sauce in your panties.
That's happy ending semen.
She was so real for that. She was so real for that.
Straight to jail.
Do not collect $200. Gia is eliminated. Although I will say, I thought she was better than Pythia. I'm sorry.
Okay. This is the age-old lip sync Lollapalooza curse.
Yeah.
That the person who goes home will probably be one of the better lip syncers of the night.
Yes.
And, you know, it's one thing when it's Jasmine Kennedy or Jax and they seem to be a good sport about it.
Mm-hmm.
When you could literally see the tears falling off of Gia's face from the wide shot, it's like, girl, this freaking sucks.
It does.
Because it's not like she like, oh, well, she did everything she could. It's like, no, she actually kind of won. But like, y'all are sending her home right now.
Y'all are done.
And like, this woman is very clearly devastated, even though she literally couldn't have done anything better.
Right.
I'm like, that does kind of sting.
It was the curse that we were going to send you home anyway.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter how good you did. You were out the door. There's the door, bitch.
Yeah. Feels bad.
It did feel bad.
To be fair, I didn't see it for her. And I didn't see this Celine Dion song for her either. And I think that the three of them doing it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
They were nice. That's literally how Kendall performed. Y'all can't see it, but it's literally like she will like flex her like fingers.
Like she's flicking water off her fingers.
Yes.
At a cat or something.
I don't understand it.
Who would you have cut if you had a magic wand and you could have just cut anyone?
No, we'll see. No.
You won't do that?
Because when I was watching it, from the moment she came out, I was like, oh my God, Pythia's about to get sent home. So the fact that she stayed all the way to the end was absolutely shocking to me.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where it's like when God does something like crazy, you don't question it, you know?
That's so fair.
If $100 flies into your lap from like through the car window, you're not going to be like, where did this $100 come from?
You're so right.
So it's like I was prepared for her to leave, and I was already like, I went through all the stages and I was devastated. And then she didn't. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to question it.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, that's definitely how I was expecting it to go. Because by this point, it does kind of feel like it was Isis or Pythia's game. And then they're like, it's a lip sync Lollapalooza. And they're like, oh, Isis, this is your time, girl.
Yeah. But then she ended up with Pythia. If she had been against Gia or Kendall, I think she would have been out.
Well, because also Born Naked.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, because, okay, well, she definitely would have beat Kendall. But I feel like Gia would have matched her speed more.
Maybe.
But then also with the song, because, like, what song, who, like, oh.
But then if it ended up her and Pythia at the end, who would they want to see more of?
Yeah, right?
That would be hard. I feel like they would, in that situation, I feel like Pythia would have been out.
Yeah.
Fully. And that would have felt really bad. But I don't think they wanted Gia in the finale. I think they were done.
Yeah, so.
they were done with her speeches.
As shocked as I was, not mad about it.
That's so fair. So we have episode 10, the finale. It is called The Queen of the North. And I'll be honest, I checked out of a lot of this because it was so much exposition.
Yeah, this is a very exhausting exposition-heavy finale.
Yeah. We've got a working with Brooke to make a song, very Tyra-coded. Remember when she used to make the girls do that all the time? I kind of live.
Pot Load'em? Do you remember that?
Maybe.
On Top Model All-Stars, there's the one where they had to do like music videos and they all had to make a song.
Yes.
With that one like YouTuber.
Yes.
But they kept all saying Pot Load'em because it was Top Model backwards.
Yeah. Okay, it's all coming back to me now.
I don't understand what was happening. But yeah, they were all like Pot Load'em.
That's crazy. And they also do a photo shoot with Piranka. And I love that this is tradition every year. They always get to see the previous winner. Although I don't remember if Giselle did anything with them in 4.
With Venus. That finale was a blur.
Yeah, I don't remember the 4 finale at all. I feel like Giselle was there. But why don't I remember her being there? She probably was. And I'm blanking. In any case, Piranka's goblin energy was so missed. Her just like running around the set and taking photos and being like, oh, I'm getting a little more time. Go away.
I loved it. I mean, even at the end when she's like giving her step down look.
Yes.
She's still like, what's the word? She's vamping.
She's
a little vamping. She was doing a little vamping for sure. No, but yeah, she's just always like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm going to say what I want to say and like, comment on what I want to comment and like have fun when I want to have fun.
I agree. I loved a lot about the final performance, energy wise, but I don't remember much of it. The beat of the song was a little odd to me, and I don't think it was very memorable. Plus, that putting them in those white iridescents with the stage being white too, I feel like everything just got washed out, and it all became a little forgettable. Plus, they had those floppy swords. The floppy swords with the sound effects on them.
What did you think of the, like, spoken word? Because it was like...
Oh, Brooke being like...
Cynthia, kiss you goodbye, or what? Well, I don't even remember what
she did all of her sashay away lines.
Oh.
I think it was like a remix of all of those.
It was very... I was like, what is this? This weird poetry moment.
Slam poetry about all the eliminated. I thought it was fun. I liked the idea of what it was, but I wish that Brooke was there with them to do it.
I know, yeah. Them doing a performance to the Brooke song without Brooke also was funny.
She could have popped out from behind the stage, walked down, done the monologue, and then stood there with them doing a pose and they all pose with her.
Do you know what's still stuck in my head?
What's that?
Go, oh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Go off was so good.
We literally quote it all the time. Just like her like high kicking up. Go, oh.
Her flipping off the stage and rolling off of it was so funny.
The performance is so crazy. So they should have done that.
They should have.
Go, oh.
They've learned a lot over the years, and I feel like they've adjusted and gotten better many, many times. We have a coronation ceremony here. All the eliminated queens get to come back. And do we want to talk about
the coronation looks? Let's do it. Who's your favorite? Or do you want to talk about all of them?
Well, okay. I think Stephanie was my number one. That gold goddess bird look.
Yeah.
And then Kimora came out in that beautiful rhinestoned, gorgeous, like cultural gown.
Yeah.
It took my breath away. But Stephanie had it until Kimora came out. And I'm like, damn, these girls came ready. I think a lot of the other ones were sort of expected. Ocean's cracked egg was delightfully Ocean.
That was crazy. I also loved Suki's.
This was the pre-evolution. This one, pre-evolution to Amanda
Brugel. Oh no,
Brugel.
Amanda Tori meeting's blue egg. Amanda Brugel meeting.
Amanda Brugel meeting. Did you have any stand-outs?
Amanda Tori Brugel.
Amanda Tori Brugel. That's my new drag name.
There's Amanda Tori Brugel.
Amanda. Where is she?
Then when they were writing the script for the acting challenge, there's Amanda Tori Brugel in this. She requires that. She has a character made about her.
If that doesn't come at some point, Amanda Tori Brugel.
Oh, you live.
I do live.
Oh, I know you live.
I'm
Love it.
dying. Did you have any that stood out to you?
Yeah, Suki's, the people you said.
The women.
The women. I did like Gia's green spiky.
Did you live for Cynthia? I know you're an apologist.
You know, I thought she looked gorgeous in the reunion, especially. She looked so hot in the reunion.
The eyebrows she did then and this week.
Her mug.
So good.
Her mug is crazy.
It got better.
She's one of the only people who had a different mug.
She completely changed her mug.
Because most of them looked the same as they did on their season. She looked like, even though it was when the season was still filming, she was the only one who looked like she had a slight glow up, which I appreciated.
Maybe it was actually having time to get ready. Because I imagine that they probably had a lot more time to do that.
More time, more awareness. Because even just like hearing critiques, she probably looked at herself with different eyes.
Probably. Was like, oh my God, I have to change everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Suki's is so good. There were others, and yet they're not popping up on the wiki. Oh, there they are. I scrolled up. Eve and Beth.
Yes. Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids.
Pastel bridesmaids.
They look like they're not even that. They were invited to the wedding. And they're there.
They're attending the wedding.
They're
That's
attending.
actually so real.
Yeah. Paranka's crown, step down look.
Iconic.
This is the best one of Canada.
Ever. Yeah.
Ever.
This is the one.
This might be one of the best top step down looks next to like Violet's.
True.
Her Violet.
It's so good.
I'm trying to think. Like Simone, maybe. So good. I love Paranka's look. The mechanical arms.
Yeah. Well, and also like it somehow feels like an evolution of her finale look too.
Yeah.
Like this is like, it's the mega evolution. It's like Gardevoir into like mega Gardevoir.
Hell yes. It is extremely that. What do you think about our finalists? As you sip.
I was like trying to decide what I thought about them. I loved Pythia's column.
That statue was so good.
The all silver. It was very slay to me. Loved it a lot. I was fascinated by Kendall because she's basically doing an emulation of what her Pride look was trying to do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which was like the super accentuated version of the black body with like the wide hips, the big boobs.
Right.
So I'm wondering if she patterned her Pride look off of this.
I was thinking the same thing.
But I'm like, why would you spoil your finale look?
Right. By redoing it earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Unless she really just wanted to show it out. Like maybe she thought this could be the end for me. So if I don't do this now, I may never get to show this.
True.
Maybe that's what it was. Because I mean, she struggled in that first design challenge.
Yeah.
And I wonder if maybe she just was certain that it would be her end. So she just had to do it. I mean, girls have done that before. Remember Ken Moose brought out her finale gown.
Ken Moose.
For the train.
For the train.
Mm-hmm.
For the train.
For the train. Can I say?
Say it.
I don't like Isis's at all.
Really?
I don't.
I was going to say, I feel like this is like the angel to her Wrath look.
I could see
because
that.
I think they both have the mouth thing.
Mm-hmm.
But very similar vibes, like in terms of like the overall aesthetic ideas. It's cute. No, I like it. I thought the mouth piece for finale was an interesting, bold aesthetic choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked the juxtaposition of that with the like angel. It felt very weird and like I thought that was cool, but I would have just loved to have seen her do like high glam, like just because of her skill level.
Mm-hmm.
She could pull out some like crazy glam and do like a structured, gorgeous gown that no one else could touch.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have just loved to have seen her go like maximalist opulence kind of vibes on it.
Yeah.
Like what she did for her entrance look, the yellow dress that they all hated,
yes.
but with like jewels and beautiful fabric and like glamour and glitz, like because she has, I think it can be really hard to successfully pull off like maximalism. And I think she is a really good maximalist editor.
Sure.
So I would have liked to have seen her just go all out in a different avenue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is an interesting POV. I think just doing the most is something that she's done a lot of this season. I think my biggest problem with the look is that there's not really a focal point for me. I don't really know where to put my eyes, and everywhere I look, I feel sort of like bombarded a little bit with what I'm seeing. I think the applique to the forehead, the face, and the chest maybe could have been removed. I don't think they were necessary. I don't think they added to the story.
I don't like that.
I don't like it. Do you?
I don't like that.
What'd you say? Do you hear that? I don't like that. Yeah, I think it could have maybe been better without those. That's the part maybe that I'm not responding to the most. But also I don't like the boxiness of this lace. It's just so square cut. And I want there to be a little more interest in that. I think I might be nitpicking because I know that she wins and I wanted it to be Pythia. But yeah, I'm not responding well to it. I really liked Pythia's though. Even if it was a little
so fun.
Lower scale than it could have been. It was still nice.
I mean, she still painted herself all gray, so I feel like she went for it in other ways, you know?
It was weird to me to, in our real life now timeline, a week ago, see Helena do the most perfect statue ever in the world, and then see this and be like, damn, I'm comparing this to something in the future.
Comparing a mid-season runway to this girl's finale look, which is also crazy. Speaks to Helena's paint skills though too, because she just like has. Because I think the problem with Pythia's is it did feel a little flat, whereas Helena's was very like graphic,
super graphic.
I mean, Helena's very graphic, but that is something I love about her. Is there's so much depth and dimension to her paint. And there's so many layers and there's so many different, like, yeah, she's really, really cool.
Absolutely stunning that look was. But yeah, our final lip sync is to It's All Coming Back to Me Now. Do you think they did it better or do you think that Selena did it better? I don't remember who she was with.
Selena.
Selena killed it when she like grabbed her coochie.
Selena kind of slayed it.
Me like this. Ooh. That was so good.
She like kind of slayed it.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, obviously they all went serious, but like, you know, I already said Kendall did her like water flicking. Pythia, it's like a T-Rex like flicking water.
Totally.
Because the arms are in and it's like boop, boop, boop. It's like jazz hands.
Yes, finger flick hands.
Pythia didn't really do anything memorable other than the little like glitter tear thing, which was cute. She did a little glitter cry, and then otherwise she kind of just like flung her.
Swayed.
She's swayed and
she's a swaying performer. She's swayed and twirled in New York City.
And then she swirled and twirled with the best of them. And then Isis went for the uber emotional performance, which already helped because she was painted upset.
She was.
So she could sad. She already had the upset paint.
Yeah.
But she went for the route of emotional ballad, Feel It the hardest, which I appreciate. Made sense for her look. Again, she was already painted severe. So to go for a really intense emotional performance kind of made sense. But
yeah.
She was also, surprisingly, the only one who did that, which was very slay.
Yeah.
Because the other two just more kind of went like big, like pretty, like...
Kendall was really triumphant kind of in the way that she was performing it, which wasn't really the mood of the song. What I liked, you like looked behind like there was a demon back there.
Oh, yeah. It was just my inner demons.
Oh, okay.
My inner saboteur.
I thought Pythia performed it kind of conceptually. Like, there's this one music video I'm remembering from years ago, and I don't remember who the artist was, but it's someone who is like a statue in the music video. And the way that she's doing this song is like she's recalling it from the memories of this person.
Okay.
Get into this tea.
So that's what I was going to say is like, because you said Kendall performed it more triumphantly. I feel like Pythia and Isis were both like recalling something with theirs, but Pythia's felt a little more like positive or like happy, whereas like Isis felt like she was recalling something like sadder or like more like heavy.
Like this person died or something.
Yeah, like it's like that's not something she has anymore, but it's all coming back to her.
Right,
so,
and the pain too.
Yeah, so they definitely went with like different angles of like the same like idea. And so yeah, it was very much a to each their own.
Yeah.
But I feel like how'd I say this? If you felt like Isis was gonna win, then that solidified the idea that Isis was gonna win. But if you thought Pythia had a chance to win, you could watch that and still think, well, Pythia could still win.
Yeah, I watched it and definitely thought like it could go to either one of them. I thought Kendall was a little too up and down through the season. And I think her final performance was not as strong. I mean, her performance in the song was good. I didn't remember anything she said, but her presence and her stage energy was there. Yeah. And I loved that. And I think all of their stories that they shared on the runway too, while they were looking at their old photos, it was like therapy hour. Yeah. They were all sharing these really heavy, intense, trauma-based stories. And, you know, I think she was vulnerable in that moment. They all were. But just it got to these last few moments where I'm looking at everything, and I think it's between Isis and Pythia. Yeah. And in my head, I thought Pythia's got a stronger POV that you normally don't see in a lot of queens. Yeah. That I would have liked to have seen take the crown just a little bit more. Plus, it would have made Isis's return in versus the world make more sense rather than just his rogue winner who just won. But I mean, I think that after comparing it, obviously being out of 2021 brain, Pythia's drag is so refreshing from what we see, especially from that point forward. Because like we're already kind of bloated right now. Yeah. You know, we're 13 seasons in. We are in our 4th international series. There's already other seasons that are coming very soon. Italia hasn't been announced, but it is next. We have a Down Under España. We have Thailand and 3 UKs already. So like there's a lot of drag that's happening, multiple all-stars. Yeah. So like we haven't totally bloated yet, but knowing what comes after this, Pythia is like this breath of fresh air when it comes to drag. It's the same way that Helena is, I think.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think it's harder for them to find the super creative, super unique girls when those are one of the first things they try to find.
Yeah.
So finding those people who really do feel like the diamond in the rough, like that is harder to do. Because also, like, if they do, most people probably already know about them, or they're not going to do Drag Race, like the huge like innovators.
Yeah.
But like otherwise, like it's really hard to find nowadays in the era of social media to find kind of this best kept secret idea. Like you're never going to have like a, obviously she sucks, but a Sharon Needles experience of a queen who no one's heard of. And you kind of have the delight of getting to know this weirdo.
You're right. And see them succeed on the show.
Yeah, the Evie experience.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like,
Willow.
The general public isn't going to know them, but online was already like, oh, you know, you need this queen on. You need
Aquaria. You need Sasha.
Yeah, so sometimes just the spontaneity of, like, finding this, like, person who just, like, exceeds expectations, but also because it's like you have no idea what they're gonna bring. Right. Like maybe they'll go home first and do terrible, or maybe they like are just exactly what the show needs. But no, she's definitely like cut from a different cloth. She also doesn't feel like a Drag Race baby.
I agree.
Like obviously she's young, and like maybe Drag Race is the reason she started doing drag, but her drag does not feel like it is pandering to the machine.
It doesn't feel inspired by it.
Yeah.
With Isis winning, I want to just complain for a moment about this kind of infection that WoW has been obsessed with that bothers me a lot.
Drag?
Is winning, yes, with drag.
Filth.
Horror. Glamour. I am bothered by this winning the first challenge and winning the whole thing. Like it almost feels so predictable now. And it started with, did Lawrence win week 1?
Okay, well, and this is like, this is an old thing. Because it used to be, if you won the first challenge, you're locked in for the top three.
Right.
The only exception for a while was Morgan McMichaels.
Right, and then Dela.
And then, funny enough, what's her name? Mayhem.
Oh,
the fact that Morgan and Mayhem both did that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you win the first challenge, you're a lock-in for the top 3.
Sure.
And this has persisted. But now it's shifting to the point, and I feel like it's almost like the streamlining of the edit. Because the first season is the episode that most viewers are going to see. So it is kind of a nice through line of like, hey, remember this bitch? She just won.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do feel like it's more like first episode winners are the winners of the season now. Or like first episode winners are the dominating talking head.
Right.
Because even this season it's happening with Susie and Lexi.
Yeah.
But like even before Lexi won her episode, Susie was already a dominating talking head for the second episode.
Right.
So it's like, damn, like these bitches like immediately win and then they're like main character for the rest of the season.
Right.
Because I mean, it happened with Saphira too.
And Plain. And Kyron and Lavoie won the first challenge. And then they were top 2. And then we had, what was it? Virgo, as well as Venus, and now Isis being the first winner and winning the whole thing. It's like, I mean, I definitely buy into the drag race theory that people are cast with them winning in mind. And so like, it almost feels like, okay, we're just letting you all know this is the winner right here. Ready, go. Competition's beginning now. Good luck getting second, third, and fourth. You know?
So then flying around franchises, because I've heard so many people feeling both ways about Lexi calling out Hormona. That's exactly why I feel like she's entitled to say that, because it's like, is that a moment of someone feeling like, well, why does this bitch get to do XYZ if everyone else in the room does not get the same privileges? Exactly. Because that's what, to me, the root of that could have potentially felt like. Obviously, I have no idea. Could just be, hey, I didn't get to do these things. You shouldn't be able to do them. But it also feels like a fundamental idea of like, why are you getting this treatment? Why are you getting
preferential
these passes? Why are you getting this spotlight on you?
Right.
And anything is a slide where it feels like here the rest of us are in the trenches, like trying to do it the right way, and like
25 PAs are like, you can't do it like that.
Yeah, and then we get like a blind eye turned towards us, like on the runway. Like, so I don't know. I get that.
Mm-hmm. It's just frustrating. I want a little spice, and I know we're not going to get it as we come forward. But
because I think it's interesting. I don't know if you agree, but as we have more and more people who are Generation Ru on Drag Race,
right,
they can recognize it as contestants now in a way that it's a little bit machine breaking, because I feel like you didn't have that before. But now, because there are queens who know the show so well,
right,
you're starting to have people who can compete and then tell in real time it's not going to happen for them.
Yeah.
And they're kind of course correcting. Mm-hmm. It's very fascinating.
Yeah, or like wanting to leave the show because they're like, well,
you see them check out. You're like, I see where this is going. I'm not the one. I'm not going to be the one. She's the one. So you might as well just let her have it now.
Yeah, let me get out of here. If it's not for me, let me go.
Yeah.
I mean, and I get that too. I've been in pageants and competitions where I'm like, that bitch is clearly winning. I want out. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm wasting money.
Yeah. If it's like, if there's no point for me to win, why should I keep trying?
Right. So for the exposure, like I could be home.
Well, especially with Drag Race now, I'm sure it's a mind fuck for them because they know how saturated the market is.
Right.
So they either like, I need to win or I need to like make an impression. And if you get there and you start feeling like you're not one of the girls that it's written in the stars for, like that, I could not.
And I think that's why we get some of these monologues, like Lux's breaking down everyone and reading everyone on the runway and then
Iconic.
dragging Lucy. I mean, it's one of those you've mentioned before. It's not a golden ticket anymore. So either you go on and you don't really do anything, or you go on and don't win but still make an impression.
Well, that's how Housewives is too, is like,
yeah,
for these women, like sometimes like to secure another season, you gotta fight.
Yeah.
Or you gotta like have a moment, you know?
Throw a drink at someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Say that. I don't know what's happened recently. There's been a lot happening recently. I can't even think of an example.
Well, and also, I mean, to your credit, you're watching Housewives Married to Medicine, Traders, Drag Race, covering this podcast.
I watch it all.
You're watching so much. So, like, to your credit, there's that. I can't even keep some of these seasons in
Thankfully,
mind.
it's all starting to wrap up because, like, I just finished Down Under. Canada just ended. Salt Lake City Housewives is wrapping up.
Okay.
Although that was the best one, so I am. No one does it like Salt Lake City, girl. No one does it like her. But yeah, I watch too much reality television. I know, because now that Traders is on, it was like one thing ended, then two things start.
Right.
I can't keep up.
But at least your references are good all the time.
I'm unafraid to reference or not reference.
Right.
What can I say?
So now that we are done with Canada Season 2, you already know it's coming.
Wow.
Controversial opinion. Give it to me.
Cynthia Kiss deserved better, but I'm a Cynthia Kiss apologist, so I don't know if that's controversial.
Bananas.
We need some fashion tape, people.
Fashion tape.
I also think Adriana probably should have been the bottom sooner. Probably Snatch Game.
Okay, I can get into that.
I do think the makeover being her first bottom is a little crazy. I think she got some passes. Anything else?
I think Kimora should have won Sinner's Ball.
That's a good one.
I fully feel that. And I think that was really the only win that I was like, I feel like that should have gone to this person.
Yeah.
That may have been it. Yeah, I think so.
No, yeah, I agree with them.
Not a lot of spicy takes for this season.
No, I mean, some of it is like frustrating. Okay. I think that Cynthia should have at least been in the top 4 the clown musical challenge.
Yes.
For the purpose of, even if her look was bad, they should have told her.
Yes.
Like, hey, just so you know, you're not going to win tonight because of this look.
Yes.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like, and okay, maybe Brooke now would have the confidence to do that. Maybe it's because it was season 2. But it's like, I wish that they had at least said, like, hey, you had one of the strongest performances of the night, but you have one of the weakest runways of the night.
Right.
You almost weren't even in the top because of your runway, but we want to let you know that you need to step up the looks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to tell the bitch.
I agree. I'm looking right now to see they did the same thing to Tia. Remember, she was so good in Rats, and then her runway was awful, and they made her safe. They didn't put her in the, or maybe they did. Maybe she was in the top, and this is not telling me. But maybe she was. I'm scrolling through so many wikis to try and find out.
Because I'm of the opinion that if you have a good challenge, bad look, the look doesn't cancel it out. I feel like you should still get critiqued and be told, hey, this look is bad.
Right.
You did great in the challenge, but this look sucks.
You were so close to winning.
Yeah.
You almost had it. Hold on, I'm looking right now. Because I'm so curious if Tia got told that her runway was good or bad. But, of course, the wiki is being the wiki.
Was this the one where she was like in the red dress and then she was like buff?
Yes.
I remember that look.
Oh, she was high. And they told her that she was great in the challenge, but that her runway was bad. And they did not like it. Yeah, I agree with you. I was trying to see if there was precedent for this to happen. Yeah, I agree. I think Cynthia should have been told. If your drag was better, you would have won.
You would have won.
Mm-hmm.
Or gotten higher marks tonight.
Yeah. Because I think that's important to recognize their process and what they present in a challenge.
Because they've also done vice versa where, you know, sometimes a queen, the low safe queen, is the one with the amazing runway.
Right.
Like, she's not going to lip sync, but we are going to talk about the look and then she's going to be safe.
Cameron Michaels.
She did bad. Yeah.
During Feathers.
Yeah. So it's like, we have that. So we could also have the opposite of like, this is another person who did really good, but they need guidance. So
yeah.
They're going to be like the low high that gets critiqued as well as praised.
I agree. Well, that wraps up on Canada's Drag Race Season 2.
Wow, we did it.
I am so excited for 3. Can I just say? When we eventually get to it.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I love 3. Coming up next is Drag Race Italia.
Remember when I thought we were doing Italia a couple weeks ago? And so I was like prepared for Italia. I feel like I'm unprepared for Italia again because like, God, what a season.
I told you before we were even recording that I looked up spoilers just to have an idea of what to expect. Because we're probably going to keep it to 1 episode.
Yeah.
And it looks like a wild ride of a season.
If I had to make a guess, I think you're going to like La Riche.
Okay.
And I think you're going to be exhausted by Lakeisha LaBamba.
That name is crazy.
Lakeisha LaBamba is crazy. This season is crazy. Ava Hanger is crazy. I think that's her name.
Okay.
Ava is crazy.
Is the host Priscilla?
Mother Brick. That's what Reddit calls her.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, they called her Mother Brick, and then this last season she looked really good, so they started calling her Mother Clay. Because they're like, Mother Brick is soft. Mother Brick is softened, so she's Mother Clay.
I'm so excited and nervous.
I was Team Norma Jean.
Mm-hmm.
Team Norma Jean, Team Electra Bionic, Team... I mean, La Riche is fun.
Okay, on that though, a third Electra in 1
I know, now we have
year.
freaking Electra Bionic.
Electra Shock, Electra Fence, Electra Bionic. What was going on with Electras that year? Someone at WoW was like, we have Electras in 3 different continents.
I'm sick of it. I'm sorry.
Me as well.
I didn't realize what a common name it is. Electra and Scarlet.
Electra, Scarlet, Alexis, the
Tuck.
The Virgo Queen, the Vixen, the Macarena.
I don't really like those.
I don't either.
I like a one-word drag queen name, but like a lemon, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't like if it's the lemon.
The lemon would be so
well, that's
wrong.
a car.
That's a car mama.
Yeah. It's the lemon.
Oh, that's that lemon.
But yeah, that feels weird.
Is that weird for
The
you?
Macarena is hilarious to me, though, as a drag name.
It's so funny. That's great.
I love me
that.
some La Macarena.
I love her too. And we're almost out of 2021. Finally.
Wow.
We're almost there. It took us so long to get out of 2021. I thought you were singing Free Your Mind.
Free your mind.
That sound is back. Someone's house is getting broken into in this neighborhood.
We gotta go.
We gotta
go.
They're
coming for us next.
Thank you all so much for listening and tuning in. We will chat with you very soon for Drag Race Italia. Remember, you're doing a great job. You're doing the best you can, and that is all you can do. Goodbye.
Bye.